This is Dhwani Shah. I'm representing a hospital API project, which is given by Coding Ninjas. There is a skill test, and the task is to design an API for doctors of a hospital which has been allocated by the government for testing and quarantine. And there can be like two type of users, such as doctors and patients. And we have to make sure that doctors can log in, and each time a patient visits, the doctor will register the patient. Doctor will follow two steps: register the patient in the app, and after the checkup create a report. And patient report will have the following fields such as created by doctor, status of negative or positive, and the date. And the required routes are this. uh, so let's go to the page. So this is the page. After running the code, you will be landing on this page. So here you can see we have doctors registration, doctors login, patients registration, patients create report, patients all report, and reports status. So let me show you. So basically when we do node index.js, so you can see server is running on port 2000 and connected to MongoDB connected to MongoDB. So this is the postman. So we will follow each and every routes one by one. So first is doctors register. So here you see doctor is registered successfully. So let's check this name and password in MongoDB database. Okay, under test you see doctors, patients, and reports. In doctors, so here we can see the username and password. Password is hashed. Then next move to the doctor's login. So when we do login, we are getting this JWT token. So let's save it somewhere. Then the third step is patient's registration, post method. Okay, so patient is registered successfully. Let's copy this patient ID and save it to here in the notes. Let's check that in patients. Okay, so here you see patient is registered with this patient ID and all other information. Then next is patients create report. So here we will replace the patient ID. And under authorization bearer token, paste the token and go to body and provide the status. And send. Okay, so patient report is created successfully with the negative status. The same way let's do it for some other status as well. Travel, quarantine. Okay, so with that also we with that status also we created another report. Now next we have patients all reports get method. Okay, so when we do get methods, we can see all the status with negative and also with the travel quarantine. And the last is report status method. Report status, so here we can filter with the different status and get the data. Let's say for the status first, let's check with the negative. Okay, so here we are getting the negative status data. Then let's check for the travel quarantine. So here we are getting the travel quarantine data. And yeah, so I hit enter travel quarantine for 2 times. That's why I'm getting for the 2 times travel quarantine. Let's check the reports in the database. Okay, so here under reports you can see we have negative, travel quarantine, and another time travel quarantine status. Okay, now let's check the code. So this is the MVC model. We are using models, views and controllers. Let's start from the index.js file. So basically this code sets up Express server with EJS as the view engine and connects to a MongoDB database and serves static assets from a public directory and parses incoming request bodies and defines routes for doctors, patients and reports. And finally it starts the server on the specified port. And then we have a hospital EJS file, which is a front-end interface for a hospital API project, and it utilizes Bootstrap for styling and interactivity and featuring a navigation bar section for different features displayed as Bootstrap cards with titles. Then we have under database db.js file, which is establishing a MongoDB connection for hospital API, and it connects to a MongoDB Atlas cluster using the provided URL and with error handling and logging. Then under controller you see we have doctor controller file, which is basically includes functions for rendering a home page and registering doctors and logging in doctors. And then under patient controller, handling patient functionalities for patient registration and report creation with validation and database interaction. And for the report controller, it is handling reports, and it includes a function to retrieve reports by status, querying the database for reports with a specified status and returning them in a JSON response with error handling. And that's all. And at the end, I'll show you my deployment link. So this is my deployment link on render.com, and on the GitHub page I have uploaded my project and provided the readme file. And that's it. Thank you.